basis.
It certainly can be an inconvenience.
Today, DOT Commissioner Jim Red
Now on Eyewitness News.
Right now at 11, marking 1 year since Hurricane Maria.
I would say it's the most terrifying experience in my entire life.
How a vigil for the victims quickly turned into a call for justice. Plus, trouble on the tracks.
Riders calling their daily commute a nightmare, and state leaders are responding tonight.
We're fully aware that this summer has been an absolutely unacceptable train ride.
And we begin right now at 11 with a Shoreline East showdown. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mark Sidney.
Hi, everyone. I'm Erin Connolly. Shoreline East riders say they're forced to deal with delays and cancellations and feel like they're being ignored.
Channel 3's Matthew Campbell is in New Haven right now with passenger concerns and reaction from the Department of Transportation.
Well, Mark and Aaron, the DOT admits Shoreline East has not been reliable, so much so that they actually put buses on permanent standby, ready to transport passengers in the event of delays. The afternoon rush is on at Union Station, but today Ryan Sorrentino is getting to Brantford via this bus.
Shoreline East usually operates by train, but lately there have been issues where, I think due to mechanical reasons, we've been more than likely to take buses on occasion.
This summer, he says cancellations and mechanical issues have caused delays on a near weekly basis.
It certainly can be an inconvenience.
Today, DOT Commissioner Jim Redeker met with riders face-to-face at Union Station for an informal meeting. Riders aired their grievances.
I came to Westbrook Station one morning to get the train, and it never showed up.
Redeker would be the first to admit passengers are right.
We're fully aware that this summer has been an absolutely unacceptable train ride.
Redeker didn't just provide an apology, he gave answers. He says the delays are happening because trains are running on just one track because Amtrak is rebuilding the other one. So when an issue arises, it cripples the system. And sadly, it's been happening a lot this summer.
We've had a lot of that. Trees down in weather, wires came down.
That's where these buses come in. Shoreline East has been so unreliable. Starting this past Monday, buses have been on standby, ready to haul passengers from station to station.
To update the trains, you know, the engines are diesel, 30+ years old.
Redeker says that's happening, but riders are reaching a breaking point.
Shoreline East riders, we feel, have been put on the back burner while the Hartford Rail has been the spotlight success over the past several months.
Now, Redeker says that no money has been taken away from Shoreline East to be allocated to any other project. In fact, they say that maintenance is actually up on Shoreline East. They now have crews dedicated 24/7 to tend to those locomotives. But the headaches, they are not going to be getting any better anytime soon because track maintenance is expected to last for the rest of the year. That's the latest here in New Haven tonight. Matthew Campbell, Channel 13 News.
All right, as you see in Matthew's live shot, the streets are wet in New Haven. An early warning pinpoint Doppler is picking up on a few light rain showers in southern Connecticut and also in western portions of the state. Nothing heavy, but as you saw, just enough to make the streets wet. All right, let's take a look at the camera in West Haven looking toward the skyline of New Haven. Now, this is right around sunset time. Notice it was dry, but mostly cloudy. As we go through the evening, watch what happens. You can see the overcast sky even at night, and then watch a little bit of rain hits the camera lens there. So in and around New Haven, some light rain showers occurring over the last few minutes. All right, cool out there tonight. It's 58 in Stores. Waterbury is 61 at the Our Lady of Mount Carmel School. New Britain is 64 and West Haven is 66 degrees, and dew points are in the 50s and low 60s right now. Now, looking at the bigger picture, radar on the larger view is not picking up the scattered showers in Connecticut now, but we have some severe weather off to our west. 5 tornadoes reported in southeastern portions of Minnesota, and the reason why I'm showing this is because that's going to be moving into the northeast tomorrow. Damaging winds, especially off to our northwest tomorrow evening into tomorrow night, and a few of those storms could make their way into Connecticut before they die out. We'll talk more about that coming up, but in the meantime, tonight, a couple of light rain showers and lows 55 to 63. I'll take you through the rest of the summer season with Futurecast and what lies ahead for the first weekend of autumn coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Bruce, thank you very much. Right now, we do want to turn to some breaking news out of Waterbury. Police there tell us they are responding to a double shooting.
This happened a short time ago in the area of Baldwin Avenue. We are told both victims are expected to survive. We have a crew heading in that direction right now. We will have a live report for you coming up in just a few minutes.
Also, all new tonight, police say a woman from Willimantic was killed after being pinned between a car and a tree in Andover. It happened outside a home on East Street just after 12:30 this afternoon. Investigators say the victim, 59-year-old Florence Callard, got out of her car but did not set the emergency brake. As she was walking around to the passenger side, the car rolled backwards and pinned her. State police are still investigating.
Also new at 11 o'clock, it has been 1 year now since Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico, but many people are still suffering on the island. Tonight, in fact, dozens of Connecticut residents marched through Hartford with one message: help is still needed. Channel 3's Roger Suzanne is here now with more details on their message for everyone. Roger.
You know, Mark, so many of the demonstrators tonight have personal connections to Puerto Rico, and they want the people there to know that they have not forgotten about them, and that now they are using their voices to try to get them more help in their recovery. Tonight in Hartford, dozens of people marched in solemn solidarity to honor the men and women who lost their lives in Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria devastated the island 1 year ago. Puerto Rico se respeta. But as many of the demonstrators walked forward, they couldn't help but think about what they left behind.
I would say it's the most terrifying experience in my entire life.
Pedro Bermudez lived in Puerto Rico when the storm hit.
I have no words to describe the fear and the desolation that it caused in my soul. I still have the pain.
After the storm, Pedro and his wife Jeanette moved here to Hartford. Today's march and vigil, which was hosted by local advocacy groups, warms his heart. He says the people of Connecticut have made this state feel like home.
People who didn't know us, and they were so nice with us. They opened their arms and hearts to welcome us. We have to thank them.
Pedro loves being near relatives like his granddaughter Aveline and his daughter, Hartford City Councilwoman Wildelise Bermudez. But the family says the U.S. government must do more to help Puerto Rico and Puerto Ricans recover.
It's been at the grassroots level, the amount of action and support that has been extended to the families who arrived from Puerto Rico. But the reality is that at the federal level, we have received barely any support whatsoever.
That's why tonight's demonstration was part vigil and part protest. A year has passed since Maria hit, but marchers say we can't step forward without remembering the people who were left behind.
These are people's lives that we're talking about, and people have died because of this. And the suffering continues to be very real.
And by the way, I asked many demonstrators tonight what they think about President Trump's recent tweets questioning the death toll tied to Hurricane Maria, and most of those folks felt those comments were untrue as well as unproductive. Roger Suzanne, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Okay, Roger, thank you very much. Meanwhile, 4 more people in our state have tested positive for West Nile virus. 2 of the patients are from Bridgeport, 1 is from Durham, and another from Southington. The Bridgeport and Durham patients became sick in August. The Southington patient became ill last week. 3 out of the 4 people had to be hospitalized. The total number of human West Nile cases in our state this season is now up to 10.
Now to some new details on a story we first told you about last night at 11 o'clock. A brand new report just out today finds that hundreds of bridges all across Connecticut are in desperate need of repair. The transportation research group known as TRIP conducted the study on Connecticut's 4,000 bridges. It says 308 of them are structurally deficient.
Connecticut is ranked 4th nationally in the share of bridges that are at least 50 years old. It's intuitive that as infrastructure ages, those repairs and keeping them open become increasingly more expensive.
It's pretty scary when you think we drive over these each and every day. Now, among the worst in Hartford County is the I-84 bridge that runs next to Union Station in Hartford.
And there is still much more to come tonight at 11 o'clock. A scare in the sky for some airline passengers today. What happened, forcing the crew to make an emergency landing?
Also ahead tonight, a major automaker recalling thousands of cars right now.
Yeah, what you need to know before loading up your family in the car for the morning commute.
And a local police department pulling out all the stops for their brand new lip sync challenge, including a celebrity cameo.
Look at this, amazing. See who it is when we come back. You don't want to miss this. You are watching Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 11.
We're gonna have a house party if you want to be a homebody.
We want to go back right now to that breaking news we were telling you about a few minutes ago in Waterbury. Police there now tell us they're responding to a double shooting. Channel 3's Matthew Campbell just arrived at the scene. Matthew, what can you tell us tonight?
Well, Mark, you can take a live look at the scene here on Baldwin Street and Baldwin Ave. We have this lone cruiser blocking access here, and police have confirmed 2 people were shot here. And this investigation spans at least this block. And this shooting comes on the heels of what's been a very violent week here in Waterbury. Yesterday, we had a man shot in the head on Catherine Ave, and then at night, a woman was shot in the stomach on Ridgewood Street. Now, police are investigating both of those, and now this double shooting here on Baldwin. And you can see this is a very residential neighborhood, a lot of homes packed tightly together, and police are looking for help. They're going door to door asking neighbors what they know. So if you do know anything, if you heard anything, you're asked to call Waterbury Police. But thankfully, the victims in both of these shootings here tonight, they should be okay. That is the latest live here in Waterbury. Matthew Campbell, Channel 3 News.
All right, Matthew, thank you very much. Of course, we will bring you any updates first thing tomorrow morning, starting on Eyewitness News at 4:30. We will also post any new developments overnight on the Channel 3 app.
And we are following a consumer alert for you tonight. Carmaker Nissan has announced a recall of approximately 215,000 of its vehicles because of an issue with its anti-lock brake system. The affected models include the 2015 to 2017 Nissan Murano, 2016-2017 Nissan Maxima, 2017-2018 Nissan Pathfinder, and the 2017 Infiniti QX60. Now, the company says the pump seal can leak brake fluid onto its circuit board, which could potentially lead to a fire. The company will soon start to notify customers who are affected and tell them their next course of action. We have all of the information, including specific models, posted on the Channel 3 app. The state of California is cracking down on the use of straws. Today, Governor Jerry Brown signed a law that would ban full-service restaurants from giving out single-use straws unless they're requested by the customer. The law takes effect next year. Restaurants that don't comply will get 2 warnings before facing a $300 fine. Now, here in Connecticut, several towns have proposed a ban on plastic straws, but so far there is no statewide law.
Well, a very, very scary situation on a Jet Airways flight overseas today as passengers complained of ear pain, even nosebleeds due to a loss of cabin pressure. The flight had to return to Mumbai when it all happened. 30 passengers were given medical treatment once the plane landed back at the airport. The airline said the flight's cockpit crew was taken off scheduled duties while they investigate what happened there. Meanwhile, the investigation continues right now after a woman shot and killed 3 people before turning the gun on herself today in Maryland. The suspect has now been identified as 26-year-old Snochia Mosley. The shooting took place at a Rite Aid distribution center, which has about 1,000 employees in the town of Aberdeen, about an hour northeast of Baltimore. Investigators say Mosley shot herself when officers arrived. Police are working now to find a motive, but they do not believe it involved terrorism.
Now, Channel 3 early morning weather with Chief Meteorologist Bruce DePriest.
Well, today started out cloudy, but it turned out to be a very nice day, and Laura Rathbun captured this photo in Ashford when the sun broke through the clouds and making for a beautiful scene there with the sun reflecting off Lake Chaffee in Ashford in eastern portions of the state. A very pretty end to the day. Right now, though, we have cloudy skies across the state, and early warning pinpoint Doppler is showing some specks of green here and there. Those are light rain showers that have really dampened the roads in and around New Haven over the last couple of hours. In Hartford, it's been mainly dry tonight, but the sky is overcast at this hour. You get into New Haven, however, and if you look carefully, you can see that the streets in New Haven are wet. Not a lot of rain, but just enough to really wet things down, so be aware of that. Temperatures in New Haven, 67 degrees. It's one of the warmer locations. Temperatures that range from the upper 50s to the low and mid 60s, so it's a little bit on the cool, damp side out there. However, off to our west, you'll notice that we have much warmer air. While Scranton is 66, Pittsburgh is 73, and even at this hour, Cleveland is 81 degrees. That's warm air that's trying to head in our direction. That's one reason why we have the clouds and these scattered showers tonight. And also notice that dew points, the measure of humidity, rise to the upper 60s to near 70 in western portions of Pennsylvania and also eastern portions of Ohio. So tomorrow we're going to have more humidity show up as the day wears on. So right now we got the clouds over us, severe weather off to our west where there's still a threat of tornadoes in Wisconsin. There's been 5 tornado reports in southeastern Minnesota during the course of the evening hours. And this is all going to be moving toward the east in the direction of New England. And timing, I think, is really going to be on our side. I'll show you why in just a moment. But for now at midnight, a couple of scattered light rain showers in the state, and the same is true for tomorrow morning. But tomorrow's going to be mainly dry, and at times we'll see a little bit of sunshine break through the clouds. So there's Futurecast at 7 p.m. Notice, though, at midnight, here comes a line of thunderstorms that could be strong to severe. As they move into Connecticut, though, they'll tend to weaken. Now, there is a chance for a strong storm in northwestern Connecticut around 2 or 3 in the morning. But as that line moves across the rest of the state, they'll weaken. And as we get into Saturday morning around 8 a.m., they're pretty much gone. And for the rest of the day Saturday, we're going to be in pretty good shape with partly sunny skies and drier air moving in. And of course, Saturday night, that's when fall arrives. The official time of the autumn season, the autumnal equinox, is 9:54 p.m. All right, so tonight we're going to see temperatures in the 50s and low 60s with mostly cloudy skies and a shower possible. And tomorrow, clouds mixing with some sun. Now, there could be a morning shower here and there, and temperatures are going to be in the 70s, and the air is going to be turning more humid. All right, here's your 7-day forecast. Saturday, a pre-dawn shower, then partly sunny, a high of 78. Again, autumn arrives at 9:54 Saturday night. And with the arrival of autumn, here comes some cool air. We're going to dip to near 50 Saturday night. Sunday, a beautiful day, partly to mostly sunny and 72. We'll be in the 40s and low 50s Sunday night, and we'll stay in the 60s on Monday with morning sun giving way to some late day clouds. That's going to lead to some light rain and drizzle on Tuesday, a high near 60. Wednesday is going to be warm and humid with showers and storms possible, a high of 78. And then we'll dry out again on Thursday, mostly sunny and 72. And for the shoreline tomorrow, an increasingly humid day with a lot of clouds and a high of 73.
Y'all know it?
We do. We need your help, though. Would you like your help?
Should have been a cowboy. I should have learned to rope and ride.
Well, look at that. The Guilford Police Department going all out for their lip sync challenge, even scoring a cameo with country star Toby Keith.
How cool is that? But the officers don't stop there. They've got a mix of country, pop, and other classic music hits for their 11-minute video that features some of the town's big landmarks. If you'd like to see the entire video, and trust me, you do, just head on over to our Facebook page.
I do love those.
Awesome.
We need to know how they got here.
They're so cool.
Well, hundreds of people turned out at Mohegan Sun today, cue the music, to see if they have what it takes to be the next survivor.
I certainly do not. No. Well, Channel 3 helped organize today's casting call, which attracted people from all over the country.
So where are you from?
New Jersey. Boston, Massachusetts. Binghamton, New York.
Southington, Connecticut. East Haven, Connecticut.
In his toga. Hard to believe, but season 37 of Survivor kicks off next Wednesday at 8 o'clock right here on Channel 3. And good luck to everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody's got to win $1 million, right? Still to come tonight, not so fast on this field of dreams, why a student athlete says his school won't let him play his favorite sport and what he is doing to change the rule.
And a reminder to stick around after the news for The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Tonight he's joined by actress and comedian Tiffany Haddish. You can catch the entire interview, which I bet will be pretty funny.
Yeah, she's funny. I like her.
She is, right here, only on Channel 3. Welcome back, everyone. It was a big day for the Channel 3 Kids Camp in Andover this afternoon. Former UConn men's basketball coach Kevin Ollie stopped by for the opening of the brand new inclusive basketball court known as Kevin's Court. It's one of just 5 in the entire state with the mission to help athletes with disabilities enjoy sports. The court is designed with 10 stations that have special hoops and specially designed shooting games. Ollie also announced another inclusive basketball court will be built in East Lyme.
It's great work that he's doing there. Well, fighting for fairness on the field, a high school senior wants to play field hockey, but he's being told no because it's for girls only in New York. Sam Forrester has been turned down 3 times, and he's not done trying to join the team in Cortland. His school athletic director supports him and said he has the necessary skills to play, but conference officials said he could have adverse effects on all the girls.
I just ask them to please define significant adverse effects so that way we can have a conversation about what the facts are rather than us just shooting in the dark.
Now, Sam has appealed again, and the athletic conference has to give him a final answer within 5 days. It's a short season, so if he's told no, he may have no more options except to keep fighting to change the policy for other male students in the future.
All right, this is your feel-good story of the night. While waiting for a new heart, one little girl stole the hearts of America after a video of her dancing went viral. 11-year-old Sophia Sanchez was in a Chicago hospital on the transplant list for a new heart. But after getting out of her wheelchair and dancing to a song by the rapper Drake, she caught the stars' attention. And as you see right there, 2 weeks later, Drake made a surprise visit to the hospital. Then get this, a few days after that, her wish came true.
You're getting a heart. Congratulations! I'm getting a heart, Mom! I'm grateful to have my daughter have a second chance at life.
We are so happy for Sophia, that is for sure. Recently, she underwent a 9-hour heart transplant. The good news is she is doing very well. Sophia's mother says the 5th grader will be back to school in December, resuming her busy schedule of softball, basketball, and cheerleading. We wish her the best.
Yeah, good for her. That's fantastic. Coming up next, the football co-op team at Stafford-Somers-East Windsor off to a good start this season.
But their coach has a unique approach to rewarding their hard work on the field. That story is straight ahead.
Now, Eyewitness Sports.
Alrighty, the Stafford-Somers-East Windsor football team is off to a great start this year. 2 games, 2 wins.
And the Bulldogs will look to stay unbeaten tomorrow night against Gilbert Northwestern. Channel 3's Elliot Polikoff is here now to show us how the team takes a unique approach to rewarding hard work. Hey there, Elliot.
Hey, yeah, Mark and Aaron, you look at all levels of football these days. What happens after the whistle gets just as much attention as the actual plays being run on the field. That is definitely the case for the Stafford-Somers-East Windsor Bulldogs, but it's for a good reason. It used to be, if you made a good play on the football field, maybe you got a pat on the back. Now, you get to wear the turnover chain, or even sit in the turnover throne. For the Stafford-Somers-East Windsor Bulldogs, head coach Brian Mazzone has not one, but 3 awards he gives out after each week of practice. The Loose Change Award for most forced turnovers, the Hard Hat Award for Scout Team Player of the Week, and, new this year, the Championship Belt for Practice Player of the Week. And it's safe to say all 3 rewards are hot commodities.
You have to rub it in the faces of a couple other kids to make them work harder next week.
We have a couple of kids who are really obnoxious when they win loose change, and they like to remind you that they won it. And I think last year one kid won it 5 times, and he did not shut up about it.
Usually, it's one of the senior leaders who ends up taking home the hardware. But regardless of if a player hears his name called, the effect these awards have on the whole team is undeniable.
Kind of like a friendly competition, and it's also like an incentive to like do good and like help your teammates out.
We're all friendly. There's never, you don't see like fighting on the field. There's never that. We're all a really close group of friends. And it just kind of brings a little more fun to the game.
And if that's the case, well then Mazzone has accomplished what he set out to do.
Kids in general, any sport you play in high school, they don't like practice. So I think it has added to that where they're excited. They want their picture online. They want to be able to show their girlfriends. They want to show their parents. That was kind of the purpose that I had in doing this.
So Coach Mazzone actually said he came up with that WWE belt idea after going to WrestleMania with his college buddies. So I thought that at Channel 3 here, we should come up with a trophy for the most takeaways, and I'm going to grab this from you guys.
What?
Just saying. I'm gonna leave now.
Considered our welcome gift to you, Elliot.
It's on, guys. I'm coming prepared and with a lot of hard work.
We love it.
Alrighty, the Stafford-Somers-East Windsor football team is off to a great start this year. 2 games, 2 wins.
And the Bulldogs will look to stay unbeaten tomorrow night against Gilbert Northwestern. Channel 3's Elliot Polikoff is here now to show us how the team takes a unique approach to rewarding hard work. Hey there, Elliot.
Hey, yeah, Mark and Aaron, you look at all levels of football these days. What happens after the whistle gets just as much attention as the actual plays being run on the field. That is definitely the case for the Stafford-Somers-East Windsor Bulldogs, but it's for a good reason. It used to be, if you made a good play on the football field, maybe you got a pat on the back. Now, you get to wear the turnover chain, or even sit in the turnover throne. For the Stafford-Somers-East Windsor Bulldogs, head coach Brian Mazzone has not one, but 3 awards he gives out after each week of practice. The Loose Change Award for most forced turnovers, the Hard Hat Award for Scout Team Player of the Week, and, new this year, the Championship Belt for Practice Player of the Week. And it's safe to say all 3 rewards are hot commodities.
You have to rub it in the faces of a couple other kids to make them work harder next week.
We have a couple of kids who are really obnoxious when they win loose change, and they like to remind you that they won it. And I think last year one kid won it 5 times, and he did not shut up about it.
Usually, it's one of the senior leaders who ends up taking home the hardware. But regardless of if a player hears his name called, the effect these awards have on the whole team is undeniable.
Kind of like a friendly competition, and it's also like an incentive to like do good and like help your teammates out.
We're all friendly. There's never, you don't see like fighting on the field. There's never that. We're all a really close group of friends, and it just kind of brings a little more fun to the game.
And if that's the case, well then Mazzone has accomplished what he set out to do.
Kids in general, any sport you play in high school, they don't like practice. So I think it has added to that where they're excited. They want their picture online. They want to be able to show their girlfriends. They want to show their parents. That was kind of the purpose that I had in doing this.
So Coach Mazzone actually said he came up with that WWE belt idea after going to WrestleMania with his college buddies. So I thought that at Channel 3 here, we should come up with a trophy for the most takeaways, and I'm going to grab this from you guys.
What?
Just saying. I'm gonna leave now.
Considered our welcome gift to you, Elliot.
It's on, guys. I'm coming prepared and with a lot of hard work.
We love it.
Alrighty, the Stafford-Somers-East Windsor football team is off to a great start this year. 2 games, 2 wins.
And the Bulldogs will look to stay unbeaten tomorrow night against Gilbert Northwestern. Channel 3's Elliot Polikoff is here now to show us how the team takes a unique approach to rewarding hard work. Hey there, Elliot.
Hey, yeah, Mark and Aaron, you look at all levels of football these days, what happens after the whistle gets just as much attention as the actual plays being run on the field. That is definitely the case for the Stafford-Somers-East Windsor Bulldogs, but it's for a good reason.
He's only rushed 3, throw high, there's the pick.
It used to be, if you made a good play on the football field, maybe you got a pat on the back. Now, you get to wear the turnover chain, or even sit in the turnover throne. For the Stafford-Somers-East Windsor Bulldogs, head coach Brian Mazzone has not one, but 3 awards he gives out after each week of practice. The Loose Change Award for most forced turnovers, the Hard Hat Award for Scout Team Player of the Week, and, new this year, the Championship Belt for Practice Player of the Week. And it's safe to say all 3 rewards are hot commodities.
You have to rub it in the faces of a couple other kids to make them work harder next week.
We have a couple of kids who are really obnoxious when they win loose change, and they like to remind you that they won it. And I think last year one kid won it 5 times, and he did not shut up about it.
Usually, it's one of the senior leaders who ends up taking home the hardware. But regardless of if a player hears his name called, the effect these awards have on the whole team is undeniable.
Kind of like a friendly competition. And it's also like an incentive to like do good and like help your teammates out.
We're all friendly. There's never, you don't see like fighting on the field. There's never that. We're all a really close group of friends. And it just kind of brings a little more fun to the game.
And if that's the case, well then Mazzone has accomplished what he set out to do.
Kids in general, any sport you play in high school, they don't like practice. So I think it has added to that where they're excited. They want their picture online. They want to be able to show their girlfriends. They want to show their parents. That was kind of the purpose that I had in doing this.
So Coach Mazzone actually said he came up with that WWE belt idea after going to WrestleMania with his college buddies. So I thought that at Channel 3 here, we should come up with a trophy for the most takeaways, and I'm going to grab this from you guys.
What?
Just saying. I'm gonna leave now.
Considered our welcome gift to you, Elliot.
It's on, guys. I'm coming prepared and with a lot of hard work.
We love it.